What is going on, family? What's going on, familia? Um, had a minor issue a second ago. I don't know what happened. It was acting crazy on me. I guess the devil doesn't want this message being, put out, but we're gonna get it out anyways because we know he's a bug, and we know bugs get stepped on. Never mind. Well, bugs have a life, so even bugs have a better chance than he does. you know they're creatures from of God too, so we can't really do that to them, but to the devil we can do that because he's that's where he belongs, the bottom of our feet. But anyways, um yeah, um what I was saying before the connections will give me issues is basically I wanted to start a series. I want to start a series on the fruits of the spirit. I want to break each one down per video. I want to go on detail on each one, um, and talk about it, how it relates to our lives, everyday life. Um, maybe like God's expectations of us on each matter, and kind of bring those things to the light. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I want to start this one. Um, if you can tell by the title, I want to start this one with love. All right, so this one's gonna be on love. All right. So when we think about love, what is the okay? What's the definition of love? Let's start with that. What do we consider like the definition? What's the definition of love? Like, yeah. Let me start with that. What do we consider the definition of love? I'll let you guys think about it for a few seconds. I'll let you think about it. And yeah, I'll still let you think about it. All right, time's up. All right, so if anybody does anybody know what the definition of love is? What would you guys say the definition of love is? I'll let you think about it. Let you think about it. Give you some time. Give you some time to think about it. The definition of love. We're gonna talk about love today. Yeah, I don't think you caught my intro. That was the issue there. I was doing something. That was my timer song. You didn't catch me. You didn't catch my intro. So yeah. So to answer the question, does anybody know what the definition of love is? Like, what's your definition of love? I was trying to give you guys time to think about it. All right, so I'll go ahead and go with I'll go along with the two. Let me tell you what it is. All right, so I mean, honestly, as far as love goes, a lot of people, they look at love, um they give, a lot of people give love like a lot of meaning and definitions, right? um and so that means to a lot of people love has like a multitude of meanings and definitions for a lot of people. um you know um Everybody has their own understanding of love, right? and and it kind of, I mean, without actually pinpointing we're gonna start it like this, without actually pinpointing, having a solid foundation definition to understanding what it is. We can't fully, not only not fully understand it, but we can't fully operate through it. You get what I'm trying to say? So, and that's through anything in life, right? Um, you know, when a lot of people think about love, um, not calling their understanding of love like weak or not foundational. I'm trying to be careful with how I speak it, how I say it. But basically, true love, like what it means. Hey, what's going on, Lum? I see you over there. What's going on, bro? What's going on, fam? So yeah, true love basically it's supposed to have a definition, a foundation, right? From the foundation, and it's supposed to be solid. True love is supposed to be solid, basically, right? And we look at the world today, and a lot of people in the world, they think they have a understanding of what love is, and they don't. Um, I'll even go as far as saying, the further we are from God, especially, the further we are from God, the more we lack and understand that understanding of what love is. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definition of a man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Um, I know the modern men, we go bald and stuff. You know, we're like bald, but that's kind of like almost feminizing to me. I was never that type. I don't know. But anyways, um, so the further we are from love, right? The further we are from love, the the more absent we are as well from God, right? All right, let me put it like this: the further we are from God, the more absent we are from love, true love, right? Hey, what's going on, Phoenix? What's going on? Um, this world has a definition of their own version of love. They say that love is love. Hey, what's going on, Phoenix? How are you? This world has its own definition of love, where they basically kind of confuse themselves. They say like love is love, um, and they basically try to like give their own understanding of what love is. Hey, appreciate you, Phoenix. God bless you. Hey, God bless you for real. All right, many blessings and prayers your way. I hope that God bless you immensely. Send you all the angels you need. All right, we're gonna carry this thing out. Um, so like once again, this world has its own definition and understanding. You're welcome, of love, and what we understand love to our own understanding is not enough to basically carry us through through life itself. What's going on, Falcon? What's going on? Welcome. What's going on? Right? We understand that our understanding versus what versus what truth, the reality of what things are, is two different things, right? And once again, the world, and for everybody who's just getting, who's just tuning in, we're talking about love and the definition of love, understanding love, and we're just talking about love today. And so the world, they have their own understanding and definition of love, and they like to say things like love is love. They say love is love, which you can see by that definition of alone. Hey, appreciate you, Phoenix, man. Appreciate you, Phoenix. Appreciate you. You're a blessing as well. You're a blessing. I know God's gonna bless you immensely. I can just tell by your vibe. So, people, they they go off of that one definition. They say love is love. You're welcome. How they say love is love, And basically you can see by that understand that intro of its own, amen, amen, that intro of its own, how people say love is love, you can see how that's kind of confusing of its own, right? Whereas basically people, they can't even give you an understanding or definition of what love is. People just say, oh, love is love. All right, so that's it. Like, you don't have a follow-up, you don't have a better understanding as to what it is. It's a cover-up in a sense. They themselves don't know what it is. That's why everybody be saying, oh, love is love, love is love, oh, love is love. No, love is not just love. It goes deeper than that. You need to give me a better foundational understanding as to what love is. That's why this world is so confused the way that it is. This world is just, yo, you already know, Phoenix. So, nah, I'm good. I'm good. This world, this world is, um, appreciate it though. This world, is confused, right? It's like in its own confused bubble, right? Its own definition of things, and this world is looking for answers. Everybody's looking for answers. Everybody looking for a leader. Everybody looking for someone to follow, because the world is confused themselves. They don't know what the definition of certain things are. Um, they you know, they're it's like lost. What do you call it? Lost sheep in a flock. Um, and what do you call it? What do you call it? Hey, appreciate it, appreciate it. Oh, and well, as far as what I my the car that I have, it's an Acura. It's an Acura Integra, actually. Hey, thank you, bro. Appreciate it, appreciate it. I really do. Yeah. So now, what was I gonna say? So yeah, so this world is a little lost. You know, we can all look around. Appreciate you. We can all look around. We see how lost the world is, right? We see that the world is absent. It's absent of love, right? We see how love is such a it's such a big missed piece to the world right now. This world is operating not in love but in hate. Um, and when we see that there's an absence of love, that's why you see there's so many dysfunction. um there's so much dysfunction, there's so much hatred for no reason. People be hating for no reason. People got nothing but nasty things to say for no reason, because they lack love in their life. And you can't blame a lot of people, because a lot of people, they were raised like that. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, when people lack love, yeah, right, exactly. When people lack love, for the most part, not saying all, because some people, they are born evil too. Now let me say that not everybody's like, you know, some people, well, most people are the way they are because of their conditions. And yeah, yeah, you know, they basically, most people were raised in like messed up conditions, right? So more than likely, when people are more so messed up in certain conditions, it makes them kind of adapt to that, in a sense. Like, you're gonna basically learn some of these things from that condition. You feel me? And um, you know, sorry, brain fart. I just saw someone walk by and kind of like took me off my path. So basically, when we are um, born in that environment, actually, okay, I remember I was going to say, I had a specific point. I want to say this. So now there's two sides to that, right? When we're born in that environment, when we're born in that environment, go ahead, let me know what it is. When we're born in that environment, right? We have two options. When we're born in a messed up environment, we have two options. One, we can either become that ourselves, or two, we can see that as dysfunction, and we can kind of reason with ourselves that we don't want to be like that. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, people who grew up in dysfunction, they lack love and they become it, or you see the dysfunction and you be like, that ain't it. Like, I don't want to be that. You already know that's not what you want to become. You know what I'm trying to say? And I hope you enjoy your time at the beach, bro. Um, so we have that choice, and a lot of people have that choice. Everybody has that choice, actually, not just a lot of people. Everybody. When you grew up, you know, everybody grew. If you grew up in a messed up situation, a messed up family household, you either want to become that. You either become that, because I don't know. I wouldn't say you want to become it, but you either become that, or you just put your foot down and see the dysfunction and be like, nah, I don't want to become that. You feel me? You follow? You know what I'm trying to say? So, and that's where you're welcome. And that's where a lot of people they fall at, you know, because once again, this world is lacking a lot of love, and I feel like, once again, the grand ultimate definition, I feel like, of love is, okay, is this: God is love. You know how people, you know how, I mean, I don't even know who created the love is love one. I just feel like they probably, like, at some point in time, they just, you know, obviously, because God is love started it first. God is love started it first, because, you know, but the Bible is older than whatever we come up with, right? So you can only imagine, at some point in history. Yes, yes, sir, yes, sir. You already know. You already know. Number one, God's number one. All right. So, um, at some point in history, though, you can only imagine that somebody, they saw that God is love. They wanted to, the one thing about the devil and his henchmen, people that work for him, is they like to add confusion to everything. They want you to follow them, their ways. They like confusion. So at some point in history, they saw God as love, and they wanted to change God as love to love is love. That's what the idea of, that's where the statement love is love came from, because love you too, bro. Love you too. And so they say, yeah, they took love is love from God is love. That's all the devil does. The devil, he's not an originator. He doesn't originate from nothing. He can't make his own stuff up. All he does is he just sees what's already been created, and he just tries to remake it. You know, he can't. He's not a creator of nothing. He's not a creator of nothing. He can't create nothing. He operates from dysfunction. He operates from copying when something's already done. You know, why you think all his henchmen operate the same way? They can't create nothing. They just steal. But that's another topic for a whole nother day. Um, so yeah. So basically, God is love, right? So we came to the understanding that God is love, and love is not love, because you can't just say love is love and not have um a basis or an understanding as to what it is, right? There's no such thing, because love is confusing. You can't just say love is love and leave it blank, because you're using the same wording for the definition itself, which is, once again, confusing. You know, you're gonna have to leave more crumbs for the trail for people to follow, because that's not enough. Um, that's why you think a lot of people in relationships, they think that, oh, by just loving someone, oh, it's enough. To be honest, no. It's A relationship takes more than just love. Yes, love is a part of the equation. Out of love for the person, yeah. Exactly, right? Like, it takes more than just love to have things work out. It takes consistency, it takes persistence, it takes effort, it takes actual actions to showing the person, hey, listen, this is what it is. This is how we moving. You feel me? Yeah. You know, to get the wheels really rolling, and to keep it rolling, not just get it rolling, but to keep it rolling. A lot of people, they don't know how to um I mean, they don't know how to keep keep a relationship. You know, love you too, bro. They don't know how to keep a relationship. Um, and um, basically the foundation of it is, once again, ties back to God, the definition. God, what love is. God is love, right? So now let's tie it back. Let's jump back into it. God is love, right? Okay. So it says God is love. So all it's simply saying is now, hey, Phoenix, it is what it is. Real ones, real ones. You feel me? Real ones are there. Real ones are there. You're a real one. Um, and so God is love. He's like, I got a personal party. You're funny, bro. Man, God bless you too. So God is love, right? And so basically, this ties back into, okay, if God is love, now it's like it's now we're going to dissect it, right? What does that mean? That basically means you have a godly love for someone. And how does that look like? How does God love us? If you think about how God loves us, I'll just stop and give you a second and think about that. I'll just pause and I'll give you a second to just really contemplate with yourself. Think to yourself on the times that God showed you love. He showed you mercy. He showed you grace. He showed you peace. He was patient with you when you didn't deserve it. He forgave you when you didn't deserve it. Right? I'm not the best of nothing, bro. I'm just doing what God wants me to do. I'm just here to give a word, give a understanding, to try to teach a little bit, you know, whatever He gave me, I'm just giving it to you. So this is all glory to Him. I'm not the best. He the best. Honestly, I wouldn't even be here right now if it wasn't for Him. Like, He's, speaking of love, I can sit here and contemplate myself on the times that He's, given love to me. Like, He spared me on so many different occasions. Like, I'm grateful. Exactly. Exactly. He's forgiven us way too many times, more than we feel like we deserve, right? Like, that's just, it's like, what more can you say? Like, but that's what I'm trying to get at, right? That is, by just thinking about it, like, from that lens, that's the level of love that we're supposed to have for one another. And that's the level of love that the devil, the enemy, that weirdo, that clown, that bug, aka bug, he doesn't want us to reach that level of love. That's why they started off by changing from God is love to love is love. That's where that first started off from, because they didn't want people to know, oh, God is love. They want to give you the fake narrative of in God we trust. But they once again, I mean, this world has its own God. Once again, that's a whole nother topic we can talk about some other time. They want to give you their narrative of in God we trust, in their God, but then why wouldn't you want to leave it as God is love then? But you wanted to change it from God is love to love is love, though. See, that one they didn't want to leave alone, because they didn't want you to really have that understanding, like, God is love, because they knew if you kept it as God is love, you're gonna bring in so many more people to God like crazy. Because basically that saying God is love is, you're gonna bring a flock of people. They're gonna be like flock to you. They're gonna be flying to you, to God, because they're gonna be curious as to what that means. Like, God is love. I want to know more. Why is God love? This and that. And then once again, it goes back into all the things that I said before. How he treats us. That's how he treats us is how we ought to treat other people. But you don't see that in this world right now, too much currently, right? You see more negative than good. But I'm a strong believer that one day I feel like it's gonna be reversed. It's gonna be flipped. I feel like there's gonna be more good than bad. Right now there's the media pushing negativity, but I feel like we're gonna get to a point where, I'm a truth seeker. I'm a truth teller. I'm a truth, whatever you want to call it. I like to push for light and positivity in this world. All right, bro. All right, I'm here. I'm here. We here. Um, but so basically, I want I want this world. I want to see this world um be changed, right? And in a good way too. Obviously, in a good way. I want to see this world change in a good way. Um, you know, we hear so many stories of, oh man, you got the kidnapping of children, you got the raping of women, you got the misconduct, mistreatment of women from certain men. Um, you get all these things that happens, and I'm more so say on that level because women and children are definitely more targeted. So it was good. Women and children are more targeted in this world than men, um, by men. It has to happen from someone, right? We're not just living in a blink world. If you really want to look at it from a certain lens, right? Now, obviously, there are good men in this world. There are good men in this world, and I want to see more good men stand up, speak up. We got to get back up and take over the land instead of just like leaning back and letting people like walk all over us in a sense. All right, Phoenix. All right, appreciate that. What's going on, Phoenix friends? How y'all doing? We here. We just talking about. So yeah, we talking about. This conversation is about love. The topic is on love. Simply love. Just the word love. We're just talking about it, and yeah, we're just trying to understand it more, right? And once again, we can look around. We see how the world is. Peace and sunlight. Peace and sunlight. I see you, Gab. And what's going on, friends? Once again, welcome in. We just talking about love, and I like that. Love is the law. Someone said love is the law. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Dang. Hey, good job. Got a high five. I did it for you. Good job. I like that one. Love is the law. Honestly, it should be the law. I think love should be the law. Because think about it like that. Wow, that's a powerful one. Because if love actually was that, strong, and it was the foundation of law, think about how much issues in this world would not be an issue. You get what I'm trying to say? Like how many governmental systems would actually have each other's back? How many people would actually have each other's back? How many less child, I ain't gonna say the word, the trafficking, you can kind of finish the sentence. You know, the kidnappings, uh the the mistreatment of women, the raping of women. There's certain words I'm not trying to say because I don't want them to come from me. But how many of these things in the world would actually not be here if love was the law? That would be pretty powerful. We should probably make a petition for that. Hey, take out those who were in office and put people that actually carried love, put them in office. That would be great. That's a really good one. I think we should do that. Because once again, we know that God is love. He's the real definition of what a love is. So if God is love, then that just means we're gonna go ahead and bring what He is to the world. You get me? That's where the whole God is love. So I'm gonna repeat this one part where it said love is love. That's where they got love is love from, by the way. They took love and love from the original God is love. Love is love is not the original. The enemy, the devil, his henchmen, his people, at some point in history, they decided to take God is love and change it to love is love. So they can confuse the people. You know, the enemy only he likes to operate out of confusion. We ain't on that confusion. We on focus mode. We on grind mode, right? So um so basically now we have an understanding of what love is, where it's God is love. Hey, you funny. Nah, you the one. So now that we have understand what love is, God is love, right? That means we're bringing lights. We're bringing forgiveness, passion, understanding, patience, peace to the world. What God brings to us, we bring to the world, to our friends, families, to honestly, to our enemies too. You know, to the people that hate us, we gotta forgive them. You know, God asks us to forgive. You know, even to the people that we don't like, you got to do that part too. You pray to God that they have a changed heart. You pray for them. You know, ask that they have a changed heart. Um, and yeah, you move from there. Um, so I actually want to go over. You funny. Love is an extension of God's compassion and mercy bestowed upon us. Amen. Yes, it is. That was a good one. Yep, exactly. And that's once again. See, you wonder why the enemy decided to take the um, the God is love and turn it to love is love, because had you kept it at God is love, too many people would have been too curious as to, like, finding out. Basically, too many people would have been flocking to God. Basically, the enemy had to change that, because by keeping it God is love, it would have had too many people flying to him, like flying, like, God is love. Why is God love? Let me go. I'm curious to see why is God love. Curious. Boom. Would have been flying in. Um, and the enemy doesn't want that. The enemy wants to keep everybody away from God as much as possible. That's the plan of the enemy. He likes to add confusion. So he didn't want that little topic to stay there. So real quickly, guys, I want to jump on a verse, right? Right, on a few verses actually. I got a few verses that I written down about love that I wanna go over with you real quick, right? Hold on. You already know. Subconscious programming. Yep, subconscious programming indeed. You feel me? So that's how the enemy likes to operate. Likes to just play in games and just like play with confusion. Like, we ain't got time for that. Time is too short to be playing games. All right, so let's get into it. All right. I got some verses real quick. I'm gonna run over with you real quickly. Let's go over some of the verses. All right. I got here in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 7, right? And this says, and this is the famous one that everyone knows about. Love is patient. Love is kind. Matter of fact, before I continue, I want to say this too. You know how I said God is love, right? If anybody asks you what love means, or the definition, or they want you to go deeper into what love is, this is the verse you give them. All right, you give them this verse right here. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 through 7. All right, I'm going to read it to you. It says, love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no records of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. All right. So that's for some of the people who have not heard that before. If you ever want to like understand, like dissect and get like a foundation as to what love is, and honestly, this verse here is, God bless you, bro. You already tuned in, so hey, I catch you. I catch you. God bless you. Um. So yeah. So yeah, I'll catch you. Have a blessed rest of your day. Blessed rest of your day, bro. Um. So if anyone asks you guys what it is, you basically this is the foundation. Like basically, if anybody wants a relationship to work, all right. Let me put it like this. You know how we all go to like um to YouTube and certain like websites or whatever to seek like dating advice and things like that. All that advice you can like kind of like put it to the side and lean on this one verse alone. This one verse alone will pretty much like um tell you what it is, and it'll set the standard. It'll get you through the entire thing of what of making basically making a relationship work. All right, 1 Corinthians 13 4 through 7. When you get some time, read it yourself, and you'll see what the definition of love is and how to basically make your relationships work. If there's any issues in relationships, that's the verse to look at, right? You already know, Gab. You already know. You already know. All right, so I want to dive into a few more verses that I have written down. Let's get more into some more verses that I have written down for you about love. All right, I got a John 3:16, another famous one that a lot of people knows about, and it goes, "For God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him shall not perish but have eternal life, everlasting life." Right? Once again, that shows the level of love it takes God to show us. He gave His only Son for us. That's the level of love He wants us to operate out of as well. All right, I got another verse, 1 John 4 7 through 8, and this says, "Dear friends, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves has been born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love." Ooh, you heard what it said, right? It said basically, you'll know them by the level of love they show you. You'll know them by the level of love they don't show you. It says if a person can't show you love, a person doesn't love you, can't show you love or anything like that, they don't know God. That's what this verse is saying. Think about that. If you have people in your life that can't show you love, they hating on you for no reason, they're lacking God in their life. They're lacking God, and that's a really dangerous place to be at. Like, you don't want to. I mean, it really is a scary thought to be walking this world without God. It's really, really scary. I mean, just thinking about it. Thinking about what I've been through in my own personal life. If I didn't have God in my corner, like, I don't know where I would have been. Like, He's carried me through a lot. Through a lot. And I know a lot of people who are watching this, you guys have had your own experiences too. You can relate to that. He's carried you as well. Yes, I've seen the opposite of love in this world: the gossip, the slander, the hate, the jealousy, the malice thoughts. Correct. Mm-hmm. It usually stems from those we love, those evil things. Yeah, exactly. But you see that, right? You see how the devil, how the devil operates. Or just the people who operates under the devil, should I say? They don't have love in them. That's for example. That's how for example, I don't know if you guys had ever had this experience right before where have you ever had this experience where you see somebody, right? And then you say hi to them. You say hi, they clearly see you. You might even wave at them, and they're just able to just sit there and stare at you and not say hi back. You ever had that experience? Y'all ever had that experience of someone you say hi to somebody and they just like sit there with a blank face, like they never seen someone say hi before? 9 times out of 10, that person ain't got love in their heart. Because if you think about it, if someone's just saying hi to you, they ain't saying nothing else. They ain't saying nothing before that, nothing after that. You just saying hi, saying what's up. Think about the level of emptiness a person has to literally just sit there and look at you with a blank face and not say hi back, and then eventually just turn away and go about their business. You know how much think about how much hate or weird vibe and energy that person has to be on a certain level for that. Yeah. Well, well, we got some work to do, right? Our kind got a work to do. We got some work to do. We got a lot of internal working to do. Is a level of lack of love. It's a level of lack of God being exposed to these people. Is what it is. Like that's why we got to get God exposed to these people. Like the closer we are to God, God's gonna cut that kind of behavior. Like if you're exposed to God, you got God in your life, you're not gonna have that behavior. You're not gonna be like that. Me personally, I could only imagine. I can only imagine someone say hi to me, and I just sit there with a blank face and not say hi back, and then like turn around, keep going. Like I couldn't imagine me doing that. It's kind of weird. Like at least say hi, give a head nod. I'm trying to say like something of that nature, but to just not just to sit there with a blank face. That's very weird to me, and that just shows um the level. Like I mean, we know how bad and nasty it gets out here. The evil gets out here. People will set their own families up for death. Like as low as it gets. I don't know how low as it gets, but that's pretty low by itself. Like there's a lot of evil in this world. A lack of God. This is all from a lack of God, a lack of love. The closer we are to God, the closer we are to love. All right. Um, Let me go over a few more verses with you before before we finish up. All right. Let me go over a few more verses with you. Yeah, our people. We got a lot of work to do. I mean, man, it's tough. It's tough. All right. Let's get into it. I got a John 13, 34 through 35. Right. John 13, 34 through 35, and this reads, "A new command I give you: love one another as I have loved you. So you must love one another. By this, everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." This is actually a verse. So God's actually telling us. He's telling us that people will. No, he's telling us that um, for us to be considered his disciple, for him to claim us, we have to love. We gotta take after him, basically. So if you're operating out of hate, you're not taking after God. God can't claim you. That's what he's saying. He claims you if you're operating out of. It's that simple, actually. I'm a straight cutthroat to the point. I ain't sugarcoating enough for nobody. If you operate out of hate, you can't. God's saying he's not claiming you. But if you operate out of love, God says, okay, you're my disciple. You're my people. It's just that simple. And anybody can change. by the way. Not saying that people who are operating out of hate, they can't operate out of love. That's not what I'm saying either. Because there have been countless stories in the Bible where God has taken people with an evil heart, who meant evil for him and his people, and have turned their hearts around. God can turn anybody's hearts around. He can do whatever he wants. He's God. He created everything. So he can. So if God created everything, you don't think he can turn people's heart around too? But everybody still has a choice. That's one thing God doesn't force people to do. He won't force you to be changed. He won't force you to have a turning heart. He wants us willingly to come to him. Like we can't. He's not gonna force us. He's not gonna force nobody. He's like this right now. He's just like this, just waiting and seeing like what we're gonna do if we're gonna act on it. And then when we act on it, that's when he can bless us. That's how he move. All right, he moves when we move, just like that. Right? He moves when we move, just like that, like the song. All right. You guys gotta get the point. Um, Let me finish up with the verses that I have here for you. I have a couple more verses, and then we'll call it. We'll call it. I got a Proverbs 10 verse 12. Proverbs 10 verse 12, and this reads, and it says, "Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses." Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all offenses. How many times, how many issues, how many people who have lost their lives because of a small angry comment and things like that, where basically that situation could have been avoided. You ever think about stuff like that? Like certain things could have been avoided had people just control their anger, control their rage, control the things that come out of their mouth. Like you don't always have to be nasty to people. Like so many lives could have been spared. Matter of fact, I even bring this up while I'm here on live. I can just tell you right now off the top of my dome how many countless live stories from people from the past who would go on live or go on social media to bash somebody else, and then what happens not too long after that person lose their lives because they wanted to go on a rant online and talk about people, and then not too long after that they lose their life. And that happens on a multiple of occasions. Well, all we got to do is just keep to ourselves, like stay in our own lane, love one another, keep moving our own life, and then you're gonna live a long and prosperous life. Like you don't have to make your life harder than what it is, but a lot of times we do. But love covers, and then the second part says, but love covers all offenses. Love covers all offenses. The opposite of that. We show love. Guess what? Some people once again can be changed. They can have like a somewhat of a dislike towards you, but once you show them love, they can be changed, and they could probably be like, this person's not so bad. Maybe I'm hating a little too strongly towards this person for no reason at all. They'll start second thinking themselves. All right, a few more verses, then we're good to go. I got a few more verses, guys. I got a 1 Peter 4 verse 8 on love. 1 Peter 4 verse 8, and this says, above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. So all this is doing is backing up what the previous verse said. Love covers a multitude. Well, actually, this one goes a little bit more deeper, where it says, love covers a multitude of sins. So if you think about the sins that are out there, what it's saying is if you put love on top of a lot of these sins, love can basically cover these sins. These sins would no longer be what they were if you put love in its place. Right? This world would be a better place. Alright. I got one more. I got one more verse for you guys, and that'll be it. That'll be it, alright? I got a Colossians 3:12 through 14. Colossians 3:12 through 14. And this says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion. This is a good one. Pay attention to the details. This is a good one. Here's the details. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love. These virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. I'm going to read that again. Colossians 3:12 through 14 says, therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion. This is saying what we should be like wearing. We should be wearing this every single day. We should be like this every single day. Clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another. If any of you has a grievance against someone, forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues, put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. All right, so this is basically, once again, just telling us how to, what it's going into detail, the kindness, how we should be with one another. We should be compassionate with one another. We should have humility towards one another. We should be gentle with one another. We should be patient with one another. The same way, once again, He is with us is how He wants us to be with everybody else. Once again, God is love. So if anybody question you on what love is, He's the foundation. He's the foundation. And you take them to 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. You take them to that verse if they ever ask you what love is, or if someone's ever confused as to what love is. We got to be patient with one another. We got to be compassionate towards one another. We got to be kind to one another. Something that a lot of us fail to exercise in today's society, right? You see a lot of that lacking in today's society, where it's like, if we had these abilities with one another, we just understand how the world would just be a way better place. If you look at the issues of the world right now, and I don't know if you guys think about this, but I'm going to leave you with a little note. If you look at the world the way that it is right now, and I don't know if you realize it the same way that I realize it, but more than half of the problems in this world, we do realize it comes from us, right? Like, it doesn't come from nature. Nature causes its own issues, yes, but Overall, we the people, because of evil hearts, greed, selfishness, we cause these problems. Half of the issues in this world comes from us. More than half comes from us. Like, life itself would be so much sweeter, so much better if we would just get it right. When people don't operate out of love, but they operate out of hate, it shows just how much harder life can be. Like, life itself is really simple. Life can be really, really simple. God made life to be simple since the beginning of time. He ain't make it to be hard, but we make it hard. We make it hard for ourselves. And this is why, once again, that's why I say, like, this world is very confused. It's a confusion world because we make it hard for ourselves, and we make it hard for others, and we make it harder for God. So nothing is too hard for God to turn things around, but we just make things harder when it doesn't need to be. So I'm gonna leave it at that, guys. I'm gonna leave it with that there. Um, Once again, like I said, this is gonna be a series that I want to start. The series on the fruits of the spirit. This one's covering love. Um, so basically, I want to cover each fruit of the spirit one by one, and I want to be jumping on about the same time, about 11 o'clock, 11, 12 o'clock well, I'll say 11 o'clock just to give you a certain time frame, a better time frame. 11 o'clock about Wednesday, every Wednesday. So we're gonna kind of like talk about it. We're just here to talk. Have a good time. Just a little discussion. But yeah, that's about it. If you guys haven't already, check the rest of my channel out. I'm just getting started with this. Covering a few series, a few episodes. If you like what you hear, subscribe, check me out, show some love, support. Everything's appreciated. And yeah, we're just getting started. We are going for a ride, a roller coaster ride. It's gonna be good. I already know. But yeah. Other than that, I hope you guys have a fantastic, fantabulous day, rest of your day. You guys have been wonderful. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I love you guys, all right? Love you guys. And we just gotta be the changers, the positive truth changers of this world, and it begins with us. It starts with us. All right. So yeah, with that being said, once again, I will catch you guys on the flip. Much love. It's your boy Truth on Truth Be Told. Holla at your baller, and I'll catch you next week, same time. Holla at your baller, guys. Love you guys.